What is going on, YouTube people? We got a lot to dive into today. Day 2 of the Tops Industry Summit. I guess technically day 3. Today was the day they announced a boatload of product-oriented stuff. And the internet is the internet, and people are big mad about some things. We'll go ahead and dive into all of it. We're just going to go ahead and get straight into it because we got a lot of stuff to cover. This might be a little longer than your average weekday video. So, day 2.5, 3 of the Industry Summit. There was rumors swirling all day yesterday. Tops had something up their sleeve for today in regards to product announcement. I talked about it at the tail end of yesterday's video. And then right out of the gate, first thing this morning, they hit us with Topps Chrome basketball, and it is out this summer. We'll have Wemby autos, we'll have Wemby rookies, we'll have LeBron autos, Curry, Durant, Larry Bird was mentioned, and a handful of others. Now, thing is, this is an unlicensed product. So think Panini baseball. And this is where the hot takes come firing in from both sides of the fence. I'll show a preview image real quick. They also announced, let's just kind of knock this out real quick, and then we'll move on to the other preview image and then kind of have a little bit of a conversation here about some stuff. They also announced that a Topps Midnight Cosmic, which we've seen for baseball, Finest, which we've obviously seen in the past, Motif Royalty Collection, and Collegiate Chrome will be coming as well. We have varying degrees of details on those. I'm not going to dig into all those. You could check out any one of the major accounts. They were sharing a lot of this information yesterday. Let's focus in on just straight Topps Chrome basketball. This is the preview image that they put up. This is the only card that we've seen. Looks like the 101 Wemby Superfractor Auto. Appears to be on card, but too soon to say. That could just very well be a sticker because that is clearly a faux signature. That is a mock-up design with that signature on it. So I'm assuming on card. I am hoping on card, but it could be sticker. That's one piece that we don't know. Maybe they said on card and I just missed it. But that is what the design looks like. Now, I will say, I will let the record stand. I am not a fan of unlicensed product. I typically do not buy unlicensed product. I don't know that I've ever actually bought an unlicensed card, to be 100% honest with you. This, for unlicensed, looks pretty good. I think it looks about as good as it can for an unlicensed card. They put them in either the Spurs jersey or a Spurs-like jersey, a close enough facsimile that you can't tell the difference. The way that they pose the photo, you can't see the team logo. I'm not a big fan of the RC logo with like the basketball hoop. I don't like that. I hope that's not what they're going to use when real Topps Chrome basketball comes out next year. They just go with the standard rookie logo. I hope this is just a thing that they are doing to kind of differentiate these unlicensed from the real deals, but I don't know that for sure. There's obviously no team name on there. They just have San Antonio as the city, and then no logo, obviously, as well. But like I said, just a quick glance, it's not a bad-looking card. I'll give them props where props is due. It is not a bad-looking card at all. To be quite honest, if you put insert a Prism rookie logo there, a Spurs logo over the basketball, and have it say San Antonio Spurs across the bottom, to me, this is a way better looking card than Curtains Wemby that we got out of Prism. It's obviously missing those key elements, and those are very key elements. But it's not a bad looking card. Now, what we don't know is what do the rest of the cards look like? What does the LeBron cards look like? What do the Curry look like? What does that stuff look like? I'll just be honest with you. The pump on this will be working overtime. This is Fanatics New Baby. It is the hot new thing. People will be hyping this to the moon. FOMO will be going absolutely crazy on this to some degree or another. And as many people that are excited about this, there is going to be a ton of people that hate this. This is probably going to be one of those 50-50 divides where, because I've seen it already in the comment section, some people are all about this and some people hate this. They just think it's an evil money grab and Fanatics is the worst thing in the world and Topps is the evil empire and this, that, and the other. And then the other side of the coin, those people are like, this is, every person that's a fan of an unlicensed card ever is now coming out of the woodwork championing this product, saying this is justified. Everything about unlicensed cards ever. All unlicensed cards are going to the moon now because of this. Leaf and Sage and everything else, victory laps, the whole 9 yards. They're having a parade. They're having an unlicensed parade down the streets. They're throwing out candy, but it's nothing you've ever heard of before because the wrappers are just blank because it's unlicensed. The hot takes coming out of both sides are wild. Listen, it's as simple as this. If you don't like the product, don't buy it. If you like the product, buy it. I mean, that's really what it ultimately boils down to. Am I going to go absolutely crazy chasing this product? No. Will I rip a box? Probably. Just because I'm a content creator and it'll be fun to rip a box or two on the channel, maybe on a live or whatever with you all. But I'm not going to sit down and buy cases and cases and cases of Topps Chrome basketball and go absolutely crazy on it. I am sure there's people that will, and that is perfectly fine. You do your thing. The chase from this product is probably going to be the autographs. What time will tell. The market will decide on this. What does a silver prism sell for in a PSA 10 versus a Topps Chrome refractor in a PSA 10? What does that look like? What do those two things compare out? My guess is the silver prism will, in the long run, outsell the refractor by a pretty decent percent. Now, off the rip, right out the gates, this stuff is going to be, singles will be high probably, because that's just the way that this stuff works when product first hits. The flip side of the coin, I do not think that this single release is suddenly going to make all unlicensed product go to the moon. I saw a lot of comments of people running out there saying, I'm going to go buy up a bunch of Leaf and Sage stuff because this now justifies unlicensed product. This legitimizes unlicensed product. I am not willing to go that far either. I don't necessarily think that's the case. You know why? Because Leaf and Sage don't say Topps Chrome on it. And if you don't think that matters, it does. For the same reason that people want the Spurs logo on there, and for it to say San Antonio Spurs, is the same reason why the Topps Chrome logo matters on there. People put value on this right here. Now, you might think that's stupid, but other people think it's stupid that the licensed stuff drastically outsells the unlicensed stuff because of a dumb little logo. Welcome to collectibles. People go after things do not make sense in this space. Always keep that in mind. We take pieces of cardboard and we send them to companies and pay them a fee to tell us how good our piece of cardboard looks, and then they put it in plastic and put a number on it. There are multiple companies that do that, but some companies that do it the same way as everybody else, we pay absorbent extra sums of money for. That is the logic in sports cards and in most collectibles. So bear that in mind. But that Topps Chrome logo matters. That will make this a more, sorry to say it, it will make it a more legitimate unlicensed product than, say, a Leaf or Sage. It just will. This will also have a ton of hype and FOMO around it. Everyone's going to fall in line to pump this product. And it might be a perfectly fine product. We really don't know yet. We have one image. We don't know what the box setup's going to be yet. We don't know what pricing is going to be yet. We don't know what the other autos are going to look like yet. I guarantee you they're going to have some crazy chases probably in this product. Wouldn't be surprised if we get interesting dual autos with some of the players previously mentioned. Maybe a triple auto. Who knows? But they will probably go wild on this thing, especially as a first release. I believe this is coming in June. So that means it'll be out right before the National. Now, from Fanatics' perspective, they're playing the hand they were dealt. They can't make licensed product until next year. for basketball specifically. So this is what we're stuck with in the time being. Because of their war with Panini, that stuff was never settled. So here we sit. It is what it is. If you like it, buy it. If you don't like it, don't buy it. It is an interesting test case for how all of this goes. But remember, this is a 1 year thing. So for everyone freaking out about the unlicensed part of this, this is a 1 year thing. As soon as they get licenses next year, we should be good to go. Worst case, maybe it's 2 years because of the way the licensing deal works. I don't know if when they get hold of the licenses next year, if they can backdate it and make a 2024 NBA product, or if they would have to wait for a 2025 NBA season, if that makes sense, because of the weird nature of how stuff overlaps calendar year versus sports season year, if that would matter. I know this upcoming NBA rookie class is supposed to be very weak, and then I am not sure about the next one yet. I know Cooper Flag is coming, but I forget which draft class he is slated for. So that's where we currently sit. You know, we get this gap year of unlicensed stuff for people to get all fired up about. That's the other reason why I am not putting a lot of stock in this product saves unlicensed product and is going to take it to the moon, because this is not a permanently unlicensed product. So keep that in mind as well. So that's where we sit with basketball. Basketball release is coming. The one card we've seen looks good. It should look good. It's your flagship card. You should have spent a ton of time designing it and making it look good. Like I said, first glance, that's a very well done unlicensed card for a mainline product. My question for you all, I have multiple questions for you all. What is a hobby box of this run? Now it's tricky because we don't know the configuration yet. Is it 1 autograph per box, 3 autographs per box? Is there a base hobby box and a jumbo box? You know, what's the breakdown on this stuff? Do we see a sapphire version of this? That was not announced in the product release. Maybe they're going to skip that for this year and save that for a real release. But what is the price point? And assume it is reasonable-ish. Are you a buyer? Are you going to rip a box of this or buy some blasters? I assume there'll be a retail component to this as well, with blasters and hangers and the whole 9 yards, mega boxes and monster boxes and God knows what else. Are you a buyer, and what do you think this is priced at? I think this will be reasonable-ish. Like maybe a couple $100. I don't think this is going to be to the moon pricing. Topps Chrome Baseball is $150-ish for a base hobby box with 1 auto guaranteed, and that's licensed. I will be curious to see how far they try to push the envelope with this, with the unlicensed nature of it. This will also be a look ahead onto what standard Topps Chrome basketball will be priced at. You know, one of the things currently in the market is that's completely out of whack is what a hobby box of Topps Chrome baseball sells for versus a box of Prism basketball / football. This will be telling on what this is priced at. If they price this high, I think it is a massive mistake. A massive mistake. They have a chance to really crush it here. They could charge even a little bit. Say this was licensed and they wanted to roll it out at $200 a box. People would eat that up because they're used to paying $1,000 for Prism. Now, do they push it and say, hey, if Panini could charge $1,000 for Prism, we could charge $600 for a hobby box of this? I don't know that I see that. I hope that's not what they do. I hope they keep Topps Chrome relatively affordable-ish. Yes, people are going to complain about what they price it at no matter what. We'll see how far they push it. But if this is expensive, that's a bad sign for what the licensed version of it's going to look like, because you would assume that would be even more expensive, because now they're paying for the licensing fee on top. We'll see how that all shakes out. I think that's pretty much it on basketball. Next up, football. They announced the football product, Topps Composite. New product, mix of cards from Topps Chrome Cosmic, Heritage, Archives, Gallery, Midnight Resurgence, and more all-in-one product will release in Q3 2024. This is essentially, someone compared this to, and it's a product that I'm not super familiar with, Topps Fusion from back in the day. And also, this is basically their version of Panini Chronicles. If you remember Chronicles, it's essentially a, hey, we have all these brands that we have, rights to. They don't justify a standalone product, or maybe we can't, squeeze out, 5 different standalone products. We'll just take all the cool stuff and dump it into one box. That's what this is. Once again, no idea what pricing will look like on this. This says it's dropping Q3 2024. My hot take prediction on this is this launches at Fanatics Fest in New York City. That is in August. That is in Q3. It would be right after the National, and that would give them a tentpole release to have around that show. So that's my prediction, is that this drops at Fanatics Fest in NYC. That will be the launch weekend, or maybe it launches in late August, but it will be available at Fanatics Fest in New York. I would not be surprised if something around this product is exclusive to Fanatics Fest for that weekend or something like that. That's pure gut on my part. That's just me complete speculating and guessing on how these big cons and events work. We'll see if I'm right or not. Time will tell. Same thing though. Remember, this is an unlicensed product. There'll be Stroud autos in here, and they cite a few other people. There's been various names bantied about, but a lot of the rookies that did not sign for Panini will all be in this product, and then they talked about vets as well. So unsure what this one looks like. I know they did product images at the show, but I don't believe they were allowed to share those. Topps was leaking some stuff out on their social platforms. So once again, curious for your thoughts and comments on this product. Depending on how the cards work, and once again, it will be unlicensed. These mixed bag products, though, aren't super popular on the secondary market. Like Chronicle, I'll use Chronicles for example. Chronicles is not always super popular on the secondary market, but people tend to like the rip it because it's a fun experience to open, because it feels like you're constantly hitting something. They're usually loaded up with parallels. They're loaded up with rookie cards and star players, because it's a more limited name checklist, because it's a built together product. It is a monster product, it's a Frankenstein product, for lack of a better term. So the experience of opening it, especially for like kids and stuff like that, usually enjoy opening this sort of product. So, it might be fun for someone like them. They also might not care about the unlicensed license aspect of it. They did give one football snapshot. This is from Topps Motive Football. I'm not sure, 100% sure what that is. This is from the Topps account. Once again, not a bad looking unlicensed card. For unlicensed, it's pretty tough to tell. They did a decent job with the image kind of hiding things. Once again, I am not a fan of these RC logos. I hope this is just something they are doing for these preview or unlicensed products. And I hope once this stuff becomes licensed for football, that will not be until April 2026, that they will have the more traditional RC shield on it like we see with baseball. All right, a couple quick hitters here, and we'll wrap this thing up. I know we are running long for a normal video. These bat knobs, this was shared before, that these the baseball cards from Topps Series 1 were showing up on bat knobs, and they thought that it was just something cool that the players were doing on their own. Not so fast, my friends. This is Fanatics doing, where they put these on the bat knobs, and these bat knobs will appear as a relic card in a unnamed, I believe it's an unnamed future release. So that'll be kind of cool. The bat knob cards, if you've ever seen one in person, are really cool. I've never owned one, but they do look really, really nice. And these will be highlighted these will have the images of the card on it like this. So that'll be cut off and be made into a card. Kind of cool. It's gimmicky, yes, but not all gimmicks are bad. Some of this stuff is perfectly fine. They also announced, I don't have a slide for it, MVP buyback will be back. The MLB debut patches will be back in Topps Chrome Update. That'll be a big chase this year for the Ellie De La Cruz and the Dominguez and the Evan Carter. And if they sneak anyone else in there from this upcoming season, the Dodgers Asian pitcher Yamamoto, I believe is his name. His rookie card will be in Topps Series 2. So that they did not announce Jackson Holiday. I'm guessing they'll save him for update, even though he did get sent down. They also talked about the fact that they are going to do some musical artists in Top Series 2 and celebrities if someone thrown out a first pitch. I think they had a lot of success with like that Topanga Top Instant card. They're going to roll out stuff like that. Probably, I'm assuming those will probably be some sort of SP or SSP. Also, for the upcoming Bowman release, this is another one that people are all fired up about that are on both sides of it. They are releasing more of these anime style cards. This will be in 2024 Bowman, comes out in about a week. These will essentially, sounds like they will be case hits that's in the style of 55 Bowman. I'm sure a lot of people will be fired up about this. The one on screen there is numbered to 5. I don't know if they are all numbered to 5. Yes, they are all numbered to 5, so these might be even more harder to hit than actual case hits. These look like they will be pretty tough to hit and will probably sell for a boatload of money, whether you like them or not. There was a ton of other announcements, around other sports. UFC stuff, racing stuff. Soccer is getting Dynasty, which I know a lot of people are super fired up about because everyone loves Topps Dynasty. Tons and tennis, tons and tons of other announcements, even in baseball, basketball, and football. Like I said, this video would be hours long if I covered every individual thing. So I would recommend checking out any of the big social channels out there. I've posted lists of everything that's up there. Sports Card Investor has stuff. Card Collector 2 has stuff. Slab Stocks have stuff. I'm sure Sports Card Nonsense will have stuff. Everyone's been posting stuff all day on Tuesday about all of this. So that is where we currently sit. Topps has kind of laid their roadmap for the rest of the year. I still expect some rebranding stuff to go around with PWC and Fanatics Marketplace. Sounded like there was some chit chat about that at the show. We had the Fanatics events that we talked about yesterday. Tons and tons of stuff coming, and we're not even at the National yet. The National is still 3 months away. We're under 90 days now, under 90 days away. And there will be plenty of more announcements, probably not just necessarily from Topps, but just industry-wide. Everyone usually likes to announce their stuff at the National or around the National. We still have not heard the other Fanatics thing that we have not heard about yet, and maybe they teased it and NDA'd it, was the collection tool that Ruben teased at MIT at the Sloan conference. So we don't have details on what that's supposed to be yet, but he made it sound like that would be announced at or around the National. So I don't think Fanatics has done announcing stuff yet. But that is what I got for you, boys and girls. Curious for your thoughts and comments down below on this one. I am sure they will be spicy around the unlicensed debate. Are you on board? Are you team unlicensed? Or are you on team never pajama cards? The buyers of Panini Baseball are looking around going, guys, we've been doing this for years and super excited about it. Why do you suddenly care now? And I'm sure there are a lot of people out there. I'm sure there are a lot of people that did content that probably have themselves somewhere on camera or video or text saying, unlicensed stuff is trash. I hate it. Now suddenly being on board with team licensed stuff. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of that going around this week. Like I said, I'm not a fan of unlicensed stuff. It's never been my thing. I'll dabble in this just because it'll be the new hotness. FOMO will get me for sure. But I am not going to sit down and air quote invest in this product. Maybe I'll grab a couple boxes, rip a couple. Maybe I'll stash one or two just for shits and giggles, just in case. It's all going to depend on the price point. I think that's what this really comes down to. What do they price Topps Chrome basketball at? That is my number one question after having seen all this news. So, curious for your thoughts and comments, as always, down below. We'll catch you, boys and girls, on the next one. Peace.